Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to the Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series. Here's a little recap of our rules and goals, and then of course the projects you all voted for me to work on. So, picking up where we left off, I wanted to go over 2 tips I received that I really liked. One is that Paul mentioned I could put plant cut over grow, so that I cut trees as a priority first. Right now, I don't really need it given the amount of wood I have, but that's a really good tip for the future. And then Paulo mentioned that I could be using this space as a temporary stockpile. And I really ought to be doing that, because why not, right? Why not? Alright, so on the projects that I have queued, one thing I really want to do is to get the royal bedroom all set. Now, the problem with this is I don't have the gold, which means I'm going to need deep drilling and ground penetrating scanner. But before I do that, I'm probably going to work... Oh, raid already. A sapper raid. Alright, so it looks like all of the sappers are north. They're all tribals. This could be a good use for the Jas backup that Bubbaloo can call in. Alternatively, what we could do is to just see where they like to breach from. Zero, is there a possibility of you getting a gun in? No, there's no possibility of a gun in time. Alright. Oh, let's forget that then. Shay. Or Talon. Yanshui. Okay, Yanshui. I want you to grab... No, maybe just Shay. Shay, grab the frag grenades. And then let's check the zones here. Safety is inside, animal hauling, grazing. Alright. Grazing should allow that. Just originally that was a bit of a mountain. So these guys are going to be trying to burrow their way into my base. And, well, obviously I don't want them burrowing into the base. So, one of the things about sappers. Let's talk about sapper mechanics. Sappers target bedrooms. So sappers want to come here. And they're going to find the path of least resistance to get there. That's how sapping works. So the idea that I have is a pretty simple one. I'm going to see how much cabling I can put up around my farm as fast as I can. Zero, I'm going to have you working on that. And Faustopia, I'm going to have you working on that. And that is so that I can deploy turrets around this farm that I think is likely the sap point. It may not be. Who else could Strux? Faustopia, Mathis. It might not be a perfect cable or anything. I mean, who knows? Who knows what this ends up looking like? But we'll try. And then the other ones is to stockpile my turrets here. So, critically important that building security mini turrets go here. So what I'm going to do is uninstall these 3 with, let's allow for a very basic amount of construction. So uninstall with Yanshui, Poppy, and Shay, and then we're going to haul them over to where I think the sap point is going to be, roughly. I could be wrong. Oh, Boomerang. Alright, let's see. One more temporary zone. Let's make the animals safer. I'm going to put them here for now. Just so that they're out of the way and they don't hurt themselves. Now, it looks like we are going to have a bit of a race for who can get set up soonest. So I do have turrets here. Now, if I don't end up getting the power on soon enough, let's actually just put my turret storage over here. I know I'm deleting some on my farm zone, but I'll fix that later. Alright, Pop, you want to eat that? You guys haul these in, because I do have active power here. Now I don't have turrets. Sappers. So sappers like to target your bedrooms through the path of least resistance, which means they won't go near turrets if they're installed. If they're uninstalled, they don't see the turrets as a threat. Which is why I installed them and I'm moving them around, so that they don't know where my weak spots are. You can't have weak spots if you keep moving them around, right? Alright, I'd like Mathis ready and Poppy ready. And as soon as I know what their sap point is, I will reinforce that sap point quickly. Alright, Zero, you're taking a little bit of time, but that's because you lack a lung. So we got Riesling here. Looks like their sap point is going to be right here. Looks like that's... Yep, okay, that's the thing. So, one thing I could do is, as you can see here, I have power from that initial setup. And I'm going to lay out my turrets. Let's see, putting one there is ideal. I want to spread them out so that they can't blow up on one another. Shay, you're going to take an advanced position. And Bubbaloo, you are too. Chris, you're going to build some of this cabling and then come join us north. Now, I do have a backup squad that I could call in, and that might not be unwise for me to do, given that I haven't yet made my assault rifles. Now, if I had my assault rifles and some armor, that'd be a different matter. Zero, I'm just going to have you ditch your current task and take cover. Mathis, you're going to take cover. The idea here is to make them pay for their breach. Right? Because if we can make them pay for the breach, that helps a lot. So, Shay, I'm going to put you close. Yan Shui, let's get you back. Alright, so they're going to be flooding through. And what I'm going to be trying to do is throwing grenades through the hole back at them. Okay, who's missing? Talon. As you can see, they're thinking that this is a valid path now. I am going to close this so it's not. With Talon, Faustopia, you get yourself out here. Construction botched. Oh, come on, Chris. Now's not the time for that. So all of these turrets will have valid paths upon this hole in the wall. And that's going to be where they're spilling through. Talon is a really terrible person to be holding the north door because he's a wimp and will crumple. But we may not have too much of a choice at this. Okay, there we go. So now we have a lot of power everywhere. And here we go. They have cut through. Shay is going to attempt to thread the needle and throw grenades through the gap of the holes. Yes, this will create larger gaps, but there is a target-rich environment on the other side. Now, the cover I currently have isn't amazing, but, okay, here we go. But the idea here is to take enough of them out fast enough that, that they back off. So Zero gets hit in the kidney. Alright, so that's a lot of them down already. And what I'm going to do is... yeah, I'm actually just going to continue with the grenade choke point, because it is working. Now, Bubbaloo is getting hurt a little bit. I'm going to have Bubbaloo back off. Shay is standing out in the open, and now they're fleeing. It's... oh, missing a thumb here. But, given the numbers and the fact that it didn't call for backup, really not that terrible of a fight. So nose is shattered for blue here. Blue is a sickly night owl undergrounder. Poppy, let's go capture blue. I also want to reinstall these turrets back in the kill box, and then open the kill box door open. And replace the walls as soon as I'm able. So it wasn't perfect, we lost a thumb, but we are working currently to research prosthetics, so that missing thumb can be remedied quickly. And that's a whole lot of bodies there that are going to need cremation. And blue, I think what I'm going to do for you... Oh, a sad wander. Why did you sleep in the cold? I don't know. Oh, that's just what did you in. All right, we're going to release blue. Base is a little bloody. Mathis, are you going to sleep? How about tending to 0 too? Alright, Poppy should be... Ooh, what are you doing with these bodies? Okay, there we go. If we are cremating those bodies, is there another body over here? An old Empire Spirit body? Well, I'll try to keep an eye out for it. Oh, Chris, you never got healed either. Mathis, come on, man. Alright, War Merchant coming in from Rigo of the Lake. Poppy is trying to remove the corpses. Poppy, could I get you to move these turrets real quick for me? Alright, let's turn them off, saving us a little bit of power. Yan Shui, could you open the front door? Or, yeah, the front door. Now, it's a really small kill box, but as I continually mention, it is temporary. Poppy, you are butchering a tortoise. Okay. Now, one of the new features in this current patch is landing beacons. So, animals. I want you guys to haul. Ooh, the polar bear is done, being trained for haul. And then graze for everybody else. So, we've got the landing pads that I will build one so that friendly ships can land where, you know, somewhere in my base. Rigo of the Lake. So, best social impact. Bubbaloo might not be the person to do the trade right now. It might be Poppy, because Bubbaloo's a little hurt. So let's use Poppy instead. So Poppy's getting a 16%. Actually, let's check everybody. I'm just sort of curious who gets the best pricing. Faustopia also gets a 16%. And King Bob gets a 21%. We'll go with Bob still. So these guys, what would you like to buy for me? I have a ton of packaged survival meals that I could part with because I don't have a food shortage. What else? The Go Juice I can part with. The shells I can part with. I don't yet have mortars. All of the bows I just picked up would be great if you would purchase them. And then, of course, all of the shredded clothing. And there is no shortage of damaged clothing in this colony. All right, so that obviously nets a lot more cash in my pocket than they have silver for, which means I'd be looking to buy a female warg. I'm going to get rid of the boom rat. I know, it hurts some of you, but I'm going to buy their herbal meds because the harvest season is kind of over. And I could also buy the male warg. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I know you probably want me to do it, so I'll do it. So now we have a male-female warg puppy, which is going to be a very powerful tool against title holders. So we have some Empire Spirit corpses over here that are going to need to be returned. Blue exited the map healthy. And we got some silver out of that as well. So these wargs are going to need 2 names. I'm going to name them later. Right now, they're going to be Warg 1, Warg 2. And then I'll do a little raffle to figure out which of my patrons get wargs named after them. Poppy, I would like you to do some cleaning. Oh, you're asleep. Faustopia, I would like to have you do some cleaning. Because the base got a wee bit bloody from that last engagement. Now the rain's kind of nice because it will help clear up some of the blood and filth and whatnot that is around the base. Let's get rid of the turret zone. That was a temporary thing. Additionally, we have some weapons over here that we could trade for. Bubbaloo, talk to Rego the Lake yet again. I threw them into a stockpile so that I would be able to do this because I really don't want garbage bows. And they had a little bit more. Silver to part with. So perfect. Fewer bows for me, and that works for me. All right, so Talon and Faustopia are helping to clean up. Sadly, the last place to get cleaned up was the hospital, but fortunately, Shade did not get infected. All right, so we have some more corpses to cremate. Mathis practicing some target practice. So Zero is cranking out the very, very important assault rifles. We're starting to get some real raids with some pretty highly decent frequency. So I think it's going to be pretty important to tend to that. And then, of course, I'd want to get my walls back up. But that comes soon. All right, so there is our first rifle. And I'm going to say Mathis should probably equip the first one. All right, so Poppy is continuing to cremate. I do have some pretty damaged walls on the west there. And we're throwing a party. Okay. Well, maybe I'll get an inspiration from partying. Animal hauling. Animal hauling really, really, really needs to include these bedrooms, doesn't it? These little animal beds. All right, so Mathis got his gun, which means someone like Poppy could get the bolt-action rifle. And we'll start to phase out the bows that I had, because bows aren't great in terms of weaponry. Temp stockpile, this is going to be low. Are you attending? Okay, you're attending the party, that's fine. I just wasn't sure he was attending it up there. All right, now that there is need to fix the walls that got dinged up, I'm going to forbid the bedroom. Our border security takes precedence over that. So there's the last of the corpses cremated. And these are all enemy corpses, so they don't need to be returned back to the community. But of course, there's the possibility that I do befriend them at some point. So here is a ship landing beacon. It is not usable too close to other beacons. Really? I thought I had lined this up properly. Clearly, I had not. All right, we'll do a 10 by 10. All right, so the walls are all... Oh, but hello, Warg, that is inside our walls. That's going to become a problem. Chris and Mathis and Yanshui and Zero, could you help with this? Oh, you are leaving. Okay. Well, still, you're a dangerous alpha predator, apex predator, so we got to get rid of you anyway. I'm sorry to do it this way, but it is the safest way. Mathis, go hunt the warg. What other apex predators are out here? We have a grizzly bear and other wargs. Wow, we are a map full of wargs. I did not realize that. All right, you are Empire Spirit, so let's actually deconstruct the remaining graves here. And Empire Spirit, Empire Spirit. So all of these corpses here should not be cremated. They should be returned back to communities. So I'm going to unforbid the sort of holding place for corpses. And we'll start to stockpile it. And I also turned off the electric crematorium so that we don't accidentally just liquidate them. Alright, here is yet another assault rifle. Let's get 0 to use it. And that means Shay will switch you from frag grenades to bolt action. And we'll just keep working on this assault rifle queue. This is going to, I hope, keep us nice and protected. Now, it's not supposed to be growing season, but it looks like Yan Shui is chancing it. Sure, I'll just keep chancing it. Getting your skill up. So 0. Bubbaloo is finally healed. Good. Faustopia is breaking down some siege equipment for steel. I like to try to keep the outside world sort of pristine. Winter has officially just begun. And by that I mean removing all the other ruins and sort of... I like to leave the ancient concrete barriers, personally. But sort of cleaning up everything else. Tidying up. Well, now that the walls have been fixed, let's continue back on the royal bedroom. I'm also going to need to get some additional animal beds, so I'll line those up. I'll probably construct those with 0 so that they're nice. Once 0 is awake, of course. Not going to wake him up for it. So, yeah, there are some weak points in this wall. Specifically, just one that needs to repair. Prosthetics just got done. Next up, I'm going to do advanced fabrication, because we are going to need advanced components we're going to need advanced components in order to keep our animals nice and safe. Alright, Chris. Let's get you... Good. So this is probably more beds than I... Yeah, this is definitely more beds than I need, but that's alright. We have room for expansion. And I'm going to build a shelf out here for more kibble. Sorry, Poppy. I know that you got cued. Alright, the animal grazing. Why is... Well, oh, you're hauling. Ah, I see, I see. I was wondering why they were able to move around like that. Alright, let's copy the settings here and paste them for more kibble. I'm also very clearly running out of meat. So one thing I wanted to do is, alright, Mathis, get back to hunting with, Yan Shui, what are you, you're a pretty good hunter as well. Who else took the... Shay, Poppy, and Mathis. So Shay, Poppy, and Mathis, I'm going to have you hunt the alpha predators. I basically want to purge the map of dangerous creatures so that my own hauling animals aren't targeted. So the best way to do this, first off, grizzly bear. Grizzly bear is right over there. 1, 2, and 3. Let's go hunt a grizzly. Alright, grizzly down. Alright, next up, we are going to hunt the wargs. One is southwest, and the other is just near our kill box. We'll go for kill box. I think, Talon, you want to haul the grizzly in? Oh, Yanshui's already doing it. We also have a Mega Sloth. Now, they're not exactly predators, but it would be prudent to, you know, it's a lot of meat, that Mega Sloth. All right, there's another one. And then the last, well, we'll go for the sloth. And I'm going to be a little cheeky with this sloth. He's going to get stuck fighting turrets here. Then as soon as he resets... Yep, I know. Not fair. Not fair at all. Not fair at all. But I need the meat. And you are full of it. My little Megatherium prey. And last but not least, the warg down here. Then we also have a lynx. Lynxes aren't really able to take down super strong targets, but you know, meat-rich targets or victims or whatever. But you know, they're probably worth taking out too. Oop, that one went revenge. There it goes. And I'll hunt the lynx later. I want to get these guys some rest. They've been hunting all day long. So these markers here, protect 20 days and protect, what, 11? 10? 10 days? All right, I can do that. I think I want Mathis to not self-tend. Babalu don't self-tend either. Okay, perfect. Chris and the warg formed a bond. All right. Well, that's fine. Leave them bonded. Chris is fixing up some of the damaged wall sections, which is great. We have another assault rifle ready to be equipped. Yanshui, when you wake up, you're going to grab that one. So Yanshui, Mathis, and Zero all have assault rifles. We still have to roll out some more, no doubt, but that's a very, very fine start. Alright, Shay is butchering. Now, it's pretty obvious we are going to have a lack of vegetables unless this comes to... I mean, it's harvestable now, but not for full yield. But the thing is, Babalu could just drink the milk. That's one of the wonderful things. So, one thing I should check here is lavish meals should not use milk, and they don't. And then fine meals should not use milk, and it doesn't. Which means if we check the food assignments, simple and fine meals don't allow for the consumption of milk. Which means that our royal meal guy here can drink straight milk as meals, which means all of the yak milk that we have here can serve as the, as the nutrition source for Babalu, even if we don't have lavish meals. It's a really good thing to isolate individual food sources like that. So it looks to me like this. Okay, the blocked by bush. That's cute. Let's go ahead and concrete this up. This is our landing pad now. And it has turned green. It is able to be landed upon. Simple little landing pad. I'm sure I'll move that around. All right, so it looks to me like a lot of my guys are now idle. They need tasks. One of the things I could do is to run the Empire of Spirit corpses back over to their original the original people. Now, it is the start of... Ooh, if I do that, I'm going to need a little bit more pemmican. So let's unsuspend the pemmican creation. And then what I'll probably have to do is zoom out considerably and harvest berries. So I think what I'll do is, even though most people aren't great at the plant cutting, I'm going to allow them to plant, cut, and grow. Oh, and some buffalo wool for my troubles. Another project I could work on is to remove the broken down ruins that are out here. Just cleaning up the map and repurposing the resources. And then, of course, there's this row of columns, but I'm not ready for that ancient danger yet. Right now, I'd have to say I'm getting pretty dangerous raids, given that my population isn't well outfitted. So I don't want to jump the gun. And add even more people to my community when I'm already having trouble servicing and serving the community I already have. Chris got an inspired tame. You have a animal of 10, which allows you to tame just about anything you want, to be honest. Most of the animals out here are less than 10. I'm going to tame the fox. So, handling, Mathis and Faustopia. I like foxes because they don't eat very much and they're able to haul. And 100% tamed. All right. Well, that was pretty easy. I mean, it's an inspiration. It should be, right? But, all right, continuing on. So here is yet another gun. Faustopia, or actually, who really ought to be? Probably Chris. Chris, let's get you that gun. So now, Zero is making some components to make more assault rifles. And I think steel is going to be an issue. But I just queued up the pod slag to be hauled in. That will help. I know that the concrete barriers has good steel, but I'd like to leave those alone if possible. I kind of like the road markers, as I mentioned. And then we will strip up the flooring. So how much pemmican do I have now? 166. And Empire Spirit is actually not too far away. So that might be something I go ahead and do pretty soon. This bedroom is starting to look ready for habitation. I don't have the... I don't have the necessary gold to make the bed, but I'll have everything else. Other active quests. So I just have the 2 quests to protect my monuments, and that is it. That is the extent of it. I'm going to have Mathis do all the work and have Zero do the finishing touches here for quality. But this room is already far surpassing the impressiveness it is required. The impressiveness required for a count level royal bedroom is only 80, and this one is 128. So pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is put everybody on simple meals, just making sure that the simple meals are correct. Yes. Everybody is on simple meals other than Bubbaloo. And I am going to suspend the cooking of fine meals, because I just simply don't have a lot of resources to do it. Sad, but true. Actually, no, I don't want you to do that. Combat supplier flying overhead. Great. let's install this beacon. Power it up. And Bubbaloo, would you be so kind? Oh, wow, you don't even have to go anywhere. Tech print specialized limbs? No, probably not. I'm going to go ahead and sell the guns that I have. Maybe not the EMP launcher, that's going to come in handy. I don't really have the money for anything super sexy here, as you could tell. So I'm going to be restricted to just selling. The triple launcher would be nice, but it's a little too pricey. And then I don't believe there's any other... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Cancel that. Alright, so I'm going to run a little bit of risk. Basically, I'm going to sell off the weapons that I don't plan on using. The plasteel knife I think I'll melt down, but every other weapon I'm just going to sell off. Where is Faustopia? You're coming in. Just for the extra silver. Because these 3 weapons I don't plan on utilizing in my lineup. And I'd rather just have the silver for it. Albeit a very small amount of silver, but still, it helps. And here comes another assault rifle. Now, it's not to say that a combat shotgun isn't powerful. Its DPS at close range is even better than the assault rifle. It's just you have to get really close, which could be very dangerous. Alright, Zero, I'm not going to have you attend this speech. Everybody else can attend. If I time it right, I can have 0 attend right at the end. I'll try walking in right now for a little bit of inspiration. Oh, Sue left. Maybe no one left. Well, I definitely did not time that right. I like how Mathis is like, this speech is going kind of long. Oh, Faustopia and Mathis. And you missed it, didn't you? And it was a terrible speech. Anyway, I really should have skipped it. Well, Bubbaloo, full of awkward jokes. And a depressing message. Well, that's right, guys. Even with a social level 14, putting him at, what is he? A master. He can have terrible speeches. Oh, well. These things happen. Unfortunately, that's going to have a lasting effect of -12 for 8 days. That's... Oof. That's pretty bad, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Alright, one thing I'd like to do is to protect this beacon a little bit so it doesn't get destroyed. So I'm going to... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I have a very devious idea. I'm going to mine to it so that they're allowed to get to it, but they have to trip deadfall traps. And I'll just mine out a weird little tunnel for that. But Zero, I think I'd rather have you on assault rifles right now. And then, Faustopia, we're going to put you on the mining temporarily. Once you're done playing the poker. I'm keeping a close eye on the outdoor temperature to make sure that, Oh, Zero got a shoot frenzy. To make sure that, I don't end up in a situation where all my rice dies before it's harvestable. Which, honestly, I sort of suspect will happen. And contract workers. So, Treaty of Antalya needs extra help to fortify a settlement. Ask for 1 colonist for 8 days. And if I accept, a shovel will arrive, collect the colonist, and then my faction relations will improve by 12. I will do this. They're asking for help. Maybe we've been at odds with one another for a while now, but I intend to help. Okay. 2, excellent, perfect. Like it. So quest. Contract workers. It's arriving in... So now I have to figure out who is going to go. Let's send Talon, the wimp. The misandrist, teetotaling wimp. Alright, set to load. Talon. Good luck, buddy. Watch it be just a complex kidnapping scheme or something. Alright, looks like my kibble's looking kind of sad. But this rice is about to be harvestable, which is good. I have a ton of herbal medicine because of that giant harvest that I had queued up. Then having one less mouth to feed is not necessarily a bad thing in lean winter months. Guinea pig self-tamed. Ooh, I'm sorry, piggy, but I don't really have use for you. Alright, so Yanshui is harvesting up the rice, and Shay is going to be able to turn that into meals. Shay really needs a thumb. The damage done is not great. Alright, so I'm going to stop the pemmican. I do plan on sending... Oh, bye-bye, guinea pig. I do plan on sending these spirit people, maybe with... I believe I cremated 3 extra bodies that I shouldn't have, so I'm going to uninstall 3 urns to send as a token. Token corpses, right? Token corpses. And tomorrow morning, I'll get that moving. As you can see, cleaning up the wilderness up here. It's getting prettier. There's a lot of burned territory, no doubt, but we're working on it. All right, so here's yet another assault rifle. Taking a look. Poppy, you should probably equip it over Shay. And then Faustopia, you'll be next. So who should go on the trip? Faustopia. Alright, Poppy with Chris. Maybe Poppy and Chris. Once Chris is awake. Wake up, sleepyhead. Jeez, you really needed a lot of rest. Alright, I'm going to wake you up a little early, because... Alright, Bubbaloo got an inspired trade. Now, the thing is, Bubbaloo's going to have to go too. So, form caravan. Bubbaloo, Poppy, Chris. This is a significant amount of our people. We are going to send Vredog, Wall, and... actually, just Vredog maybe is enough carriage. Wait. Send the Kibble, send the Pemmican. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obviously not enough carry weight. Not even close. So we are going to have to make multiple trips. Oof. This is a expensive requirement that was voted upon, but that's okay. I eventually will use pods. Just send them via pod. All right. I am going to... I'm not going to have Bubbaloo go, because I don't plan on trading with them. I will just drop the bodies off. Now, what that's going to look like is it's going to be basically me abandoning them in a caravan. But there's there's really no way for them to accept bodies because they don't want them. So it's going to be a little weird, but that's okay. One thing I could make for our couple that is traveling out is let's whip together a quick... what do I have? I have a ton of cloth, so let's do a quick cloth bedroll. At least so that they're comfortable. Alright, and then grab some of the Empire Spirits. I don't think I have a caravan pack spot, do I? Oh, and I had Poppy conscripted, which is the problem. Alright, so now they're all going to regroup, load up, and leave. Another thing I'm going to need to do is Poppy and Chris, you're going to have travel food. Very fancy. Looks to me like the base is getting a little filthy without Talon around to help clean up. Faustopia, no, not Faustopia. Shay, I'm going to have you do it. So my caravan's off, visiting Lepsis. They've got food and bedrolls, and basically we are just shuttling corpses to them. Weird, yes, I know, but it was voted upon. I have some wiring that was ugly. Alright, so here is yet another assault rifle. And we'll just keep cranking these out. Now, I didn't bring the urns with me this time, but I will next time. Or maybe the time after, because there's so many corpses. Alright, so the path that I have, basically the deadfall path. The idea of this deadfall path is I'm just going to put in some wooden doors. One. Yeah. And we'll put deadfall traps, so if they do want to target the orbital trade beacon, they get squashed. It's not a little bad trick there. But it looks like we have nowhere to store chunks, because I just have so many chunks and I'm not really using any of them. So let's add a little bit of space on that. Also, this door should be propped open, because I do want attackers invited to come through the front door. It's not much of a kill box, but that's because I haven't laid the base out as a castle. Well, guys, that's all the time I have for this episode. I wanted to say thank you for everybody that voted on the previous goals. I'm really excited to see how much of a castle I can make this base look. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line. I really appreciate when you share your tips. And then, of course, if you'd like to discuss this, Discord's the place to be. Rotomont.com gets you the Discord link. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.